So, at one of association of users conference in Ho, where Justice Jones Doche was acting as the Chief Justice in the absence of Justice Enin Yeboah. When they were having their conference, he was supposed to make a statement. One of the things that he said was that as an association, make sure that we don't want to see any choboy going forward.
Okay.
So within the legal setting, there's no
So there's no
choboy.
choboy.
And in fact, the founder of JUSAC, Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, Mr. Eni,
Yes.
at the 50th anniversary said that
Innocent.
yes, Mr. Enusin, he said that look, the association that was formed, one of the things that was not part was Chobui.
Chobui.
But as time goes,
They have not reached. They haven't reached that point yet. When they reach a critical point, they will say Chobui. You shouldn't worry.
so the Chobui include declaring strike and that stuff. But what have we seen? There were a lot of Chobui already.
Chobui is natural.
It's natural. It's one of the languages that people in position understand. Yes. Once you do Chobui, whatever you are looking for, at least if not all, they can meet you halfway. So as for Chobui, even if it's not allowed, it's a necessary evil. It's a necessary evil.
Okay. Charlie, so, let's talk about people being caught to the bar.
Yes, the Chobui was at the Accra International Conference Center on Friday.
Right.
The family members. It shows that yes, if you are part of an occasion like this, if you are one of them, it's an honor. Indeed.
2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 years ago or so. Yeah, I was there.
Oh wow!
I was there for my brother.
And the euphoria, the atmosphere.
So you have to go early. Other than that, the heat that you go and sit in.
Wow. It summarizes the whole thing, and on Friday you could see the
proud moments for the fathers.
Absolutely.
You know, the families that had
loved
their
ones, husbands, wives, children, all of them come. Some chiefs,
yes, of course,
were there. to lend support to be part of the occasion. And you could see the claps, the noise when names are mentioned. Oh, now you'll be filled with goosebumps all over. Yes. So 777 new of them are now lawyers. They have passed the General Legal Council's requirement. All the things that they are supposed to do, they have done them. And you know that the General Legal Council is the body that regulates professional practice and legal education in the country. And once they call you to the bar, it is no joke. The Chief Justice is the chairperson of the General Legal Council. And this whole call now, two persons with disability were part of the 777 main call, 61st edition of the main call, and it was very, very amazing. But the Chief Justice has a message for these new lawyers. He said, look, the law goes beyond the 5 years that you have spent in the classroom.
The real job is about to get down.
It's on the field.
What you went through in the last 5 or more years just provided you with skills on how to learn the art of construing, interpreting, applying, and administering law. As you leave here with your certificates, you are supposed to use these skills, knowledge, and values given in law school to serve your communities.
So that is the Lady Chief Justice Gertrude Saki Tokonu. As you leave and go to the field, make sure that you use your knowledge to serve society.
Yeah, and one other thing that people have to draw their minds to is that it's not going to be how do I even say it? Things will not just happen.
Absolutely.
It will not be.
Yes.
It will not be an easy journey for a large number of them.
For if you are out there and you think that once they've been called to the bar, it's an easy thing. It's a walk.
Absolutely.
It's not. Because you have to go there and find your feet and then make sure that you do, depending on how you go about your work, how you apply the knowledge that you have gained from, and how you are able to maneuver yourself in the system will ensure that you are successful or you'll be hanging in there. So it's not an easy thing like you pointed
And you
it
see,
out.
sometimes when you watch a lot of the foreign law series, you have your own fantasies about what it entails, but it would require a lot more. I think
work.
I've heard, some lawyers talk about how how you need to give yourself about 5 years.
Oh yes,
you know,
yes.
You need to find the ropes and specialize in something.
You need to be patient as well,
yeah.
because many think that you spend a lot of money, go to school, so you just have to come and recoup your money. I think that it just have to 1,000-mile journey start with a step. So you just have to grow naturally into the system. So if you want to rush into the system, you could crash along the
So
line.
be patient with yourself,
absolutely.
okay? And don't be willing to do deals that are,
yes.
Don't be willing to be crooks just to.
I know some few lawyers who are facing prosecution. Mm-hmm. Yes, because sometimes the way they are supposed to advise their client, they did not, and end up even shortchanging the clients as it is. And sometimes you even see at the premises of the court, sometimes some clients come and then now on my wild power of lawyers, so it's not easy. So you just have to be patient and go. But the Chief Justice also has a message for them. And what's the message? You know the issue of galamsey.
Yes.
The CJ is saying that we don't teach galamsey at the Ghana School of Law. That is not what you learn. But the skills that you have learned is to give you that knowledge, that understanding to be able to deal with the issues of galamsey. Let's hear what the Chief Justice said in relation to this.
From this narrative, we can see that our country has flowed and ebbed and moved in waves. When the nation is on a high tide, lawyers are there to support the shaping of the nation. In low tide, it is lawyers who speak up to shape the new form of the nation. Structural resource you have been given. Nobody is going to teach you how to deal with galamsey properly. You didn't learn that in the law school. You have to learn it on the job.
Yeah, a lot of the law is learned on the job, actually.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just like journalism. You go to school, they tell 5 W's and H. you come to the film and they tell you when you're writing the lead, it's up to 20, is it 23 or 25 words? Your intro, it should be up to 25 words.
Okay.
I tell you, when you come to the, when you come to the
but
film,
you also you realize that, different stories will require different treatment and
approach and treatment altogether. So the CJ is saying that once you go to the field, make sure that the knowledge you have acquired leads you to do the things rightly.
Absolutely. And be willing to learn.
Yeah, be willing to, and that is the for me, the main thing. If you're not willing to learn, then you should be ready that you face a lot of obstacles. Even those who are willing to learn, they are facing challenges. But the point is that after a certain period of time, you become a master of what you have learned.
Absolutely.
A lot of things happen. Sometimes when you go to court and you see lawyers advancing argument, sometimes it is not about the same lawyer, another lawyer would have made the same points, but another lawyer will make the same points, but in a different skill and different style, and get whatever he wanted. You won't get, but that lawyer will get it. Experience, using the skill, how you should apply it. So it happens all the time. And so if the CJ is saying that, look, make sure that when you go to the field, you apply the knowledge rightly, I think it is the right call. And many of them, you see the script written on their faces will tell you that, they themselves will tell you that what we have been through, we will go there and do the right and make sure that we become very successful. So that is the message that the Lady Chief Justice Gertrude Sackey Torkornoo gave to these new lawyers. But of course, the main actors, these lawyers, some of them have been speaking to some of them about how the journey has been to them. Some of them, they've been trying it for the past 14 years, some 5 years, some the first time they started. Yeah, so we all have our different
it's a journey. Everybody is on a different one.
So let's hear from these new lawyers.
The journey has actually been very rough. It's been rugged, but with perseverance, with determination, we've been able to sail through successfully, and today we are here.
The journey is long, but it's incredibly rewarding. So don't give up. Be very determined and just don't give up. You will get here.
We all worked extremely hard and it came with a lot of trials and tribulations, but I'm glad we all made it through to today.
Good comes on a silver platter. And I always say that with God on our side, you will definitely surmount. You shouldn't lose focus. Once you know where you're headed, you should keep up the faith. You should trudge on courageously and pray to the Almighty. And I believe that at the end of the day, though it may tarry, but at the end of the day, it will tally according to the will of God.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. It may tarry, but it will tally with the will of God. I think that should be our mantra. It may tarry, but it will tally.
Absolutely. So some of them were very, very excited. In fact, if you were at the premises, you know that the
Esquire.
Esquire. So I remember I was having an interaction with one of them. After mentioning her name, was like Esquire. Wow. If you fail to, I've done a story before, and then I failed to bring that part of the, and then I had a call. And when they say I had a call on it, because the person said that I struggle.
I worked for this. I toiled for this.
I worked for it.
So you had better.
You can't just take it that away from you with just the pen and all that. So they toiled for it, and it's an amazing moment altogether. So like I said, two persons were part of these 777, two special people.
Yeah.
Persons with disability. And you could see the acknowledgement at the Accra International Conference Center. The CJ has to move all the way from the
that's what they usually do.
And present his certificate to him. The two of them, in fact, to them, it was very.
So one was visually impaired, and then the other was also did have a hearing impairment.
Absolutely, and they were the two who were even served first because of how the specialty or the specialized nature in which
because of how special they are.
Absolutely, So the whole room, the whole conference ground stood up for them and all that. But I've been talking to one of them.
Okay, the one with the hearing impairment.
With the visually.
Okay, the visual impairment.
Visually impaired. Martha, listen to the name. Martha Tobias, Dennis Jose, Esquire.
A lady?
It's a gentleman.
Martha.
Yes.
Wow.
Martha, Mattah.
Wow.
You don't have the H in it. You know, Martha has the first T. This one.
You said
Mattah.
Okay.
Martha.
Okay.
Tobias. Dennis. Jose. That name Jose, if you are mentioning him, I think that is H-O-S.
It's not Jose.
Jose. You got it right. Yes.
Okay,
Esquire.
It's a name. Okay, yes. So the matter is a
yes. So, visually impaired lawyer, and he's been speaking to me. Said, look, he's gone through a lot of challenges
to achieve this.
Institutions that he has been through up until this day never made provisions for persons of his kind, and virtually they pay same school fees. They are treated the same way, but with his condition, he has to do the extra thing, even though he paid tribute of homage to the director of Ghana School of Law for making sure that at that particular point in time, they have some measure, some way to go about it. But largely, his point is that institutions that fail to put in measures or that fail to implement the Disability Act to make room or make things easy for persons with disability, they should wait and look out for him, because he's going to take them on when he gains his practicing license. Let's hear from Tobias, Esquire.
If we are paying the same school fees with our colleagues who have the libraries and books accessible to them, then we should be giving the same service. Because at the end of the day, we write the same exams with them, and I don't think anybody considers us because we lack facilities. If I had failed any of my papers today, I wouldn't have been here. But however I managed to do it, it was by the grace of God. No provision specially was made for such a situation to be easier for me. Elsewhere, the field is made even for everybody, provided the person qualifies. So what the white man in his land will do is that they will engage you and make sure that all the equipment you need or the logistics you need to make your studies very easy and possible would be made available even before you are admitted. But our place here, even as at now that I was leaving school, there was nothing like that in any of the institutions I went through. Thank you.
So how did this propel you for the task ahead? The CJ mentioned that, look, it's good. The job now goes beyond the 5 years you study in the classroom. So how does that motivate you to go to the field proper?
So, as someone who has been through this, it's my interest to make sure that the world and everything happening around us, especially in Ghana here, should be all inclusive. That persons with disabilities and other vulnerable class of individuals should be given their best share of the cake. So you should expect to see me in the coming days, when I duly obtain my license, to be taken on state institutions that fail to do the right thing.
You do that?
I'll do it.
Are you including taking them to court?
Yes, if need be, we'll do it. Yes.
Okay. So they should look out for you. State institutions that fail to put in structures to address the need of persons with disability, you take them on?
Yes, we take them on.
Yes. So that is Martha Tobias Dennis Jose saying that, look, a state institution should look out for him. Once he gains a practicing license, all these things will be done absolutely and all that. So that's some of the things that took place. And also on Friday, the issue of Democracy Hub came up. Our governor and the squad were in court. He wanted to travel, but unfortunately that did not happen. So he will have to come back in the next. And today, Oliver Barker-Vormawor is back in court. He's the only person who have not been granted bail in the court. They will be hoping that they'll make a repeat bail application for the lawyers to consider that. So this, together with Sexy Dondon, is what we should expect coming up today.
Thank you very much. Murtala Inusa is our legal affairs correspondent. Speak to the public relations officer for the Ghana National Fire Service, D.O. Desmond Aka. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Morning Star.
It's our pleasure to join you this morning, too.
I hope you're well.
By God's grace, we are doing well.
It seemed like a lot did happen over the weekend. One incident that caught the attention of many people, especially after the Ghana National Fire Service went live in relation to that incident, is the accident that happened in East Legon. What exactly are the details? What happened? Per the preliminary facts that you've gathered at the moment.
All right. A very good morning to your listeners or your viewers. It's quite unfortunate that last Saturday we had to record such a gory accident where 2 people were lost as a result. The whole incident happened at East Legon, portion near the Omama Pharmacy. Actually, we had a fire call at exactly 4:30. Where we had to manage the heavy traffic from Medina to that section, which made us arrive there at exactly 4:51. When we got there, we realized that 2 vehicles had crashed and has resulted in a severe fire that has caused severe damage to the vehicle. So upon fire extinguishment, we realized that 2 people were trapped but burnt beyond recognition. So we had to manage the situation and then extricate the burnt individuals and then handed over the 2 deceased bodies to the Ghana Police Service personnel who were at the scene to offer operational support. We understand before we got to the incident, 4 people, that is 2 from one of the affected vehicles, that is Honda Acura vehicle with registration number GR2542-23, had been rescued and then rushed to the hospital. And then also there was another car, unregistered Jaguar 4x4, that was also affected. 2 occupants, that is the driver and then 1 passenger who was seated in the front seat, was also rescued and sent to the hospital. Investigations have begun. Eyewitnesses say that they were rushed to the Legon Medical Center. Our investigating team is yet to reach out to them and to continue with their investigation. So far, that is what ensued. Just that we want to use this medium to extend our deepest condolences to the affected or bereaved family who've lost their precious members. We pray that God consoles them and then give them strength in this difficult moment.
It's a lot to take in. What caused the fire?
From our initial findings at the scene and from what we have gathered so far, it appears there was this 4x4 vehicle that was speeding towards that key junction where the accident happened. And as a result, it crashed into one of the car, hitting a nearby structure. I don't know whether it's a security post or so of a particular company. So as a result of the crash or the impact, it burst into flame and it trapped the two individuals who were in the passenger seat of that particular car, and then it got them burnt. So that is our preliminary findings. We are still continuing with the investigation to ascertain what actually led to the fire outbreak and the circumstances that led to the two individuals burning to death in that gruesome manner.
And I asked about what caused the fire because on social media, for instance, there have been various narratives. There's been talk about an electricity pole being there and the car crashing into it, sparking the fire. Is the reason I asked that. But you say that investigations are still ongoing, so I'm sure with time all the fine details will emerge. But then, how are the injured faring? How are they faring? What's their condition? Are they stable? What is the level of their injuries?
Yes, like I indicated earlier, we understand they were sent to the Legon Medical Center. Our investigating team is yet to reach out to them and to find out their state now. So as I speak with you, I do not know their condition now.
And, many people were surprised that an accident of that magnitude could happen in that area because it's largely residential. Is it a usual occurrence around areas like these or in that area?
Per the CCTV footages that we have received, it appears the vehicle that crashed into the other was overspeeding. I don't know why the driver was overspeeding. We would have to ascertain that in our investigation, and I believe that as time goes on, we'll get to know the rationale. Others are also accusing or even pinpointing hands to a minor who was even driving the car. I mean, we are yet to find out those fine details. So, such a residential area, we don't expect people to be overspeeding like that. So, as time goes on and we are able to conclude our investigation, I believe that we'll be able to get all the nitty-gritties and the details that led to that.
Okay. Another incident that we did also see on the handle of the Ghana National Fire Service is something that happened around the Spintex Road or in Spintex, where a car, per the account that was being given on the video, the car had been set ablaze after it knocked down an individual on a motorbike. What are the details in relation to that, the preliminary findings?
Yes, that incident also happened, I think, last night, where fortunately we were called to the scene on time. So our men did a yeoman's job by containing the fire and were able to douse and then contain the situation on time. Like you said, we were gathering, or we had gathered that the driver of the vehicle had knocked down a motor rider. Therefore, he had died. And per our investigation, we are yet to see where even the the supposedly dead person has been sent to, and then also even the driver of that said vehicle. We are yet to ascertain their whereabouts to be able to conclude as to whether those accounts were actually factual as was being given. So that one to our investigations commence, and I'm sure by close of today we should be able to get all the details to confirm as to whether that actually happened or otherwise.
Do you have any caution for road users, motorists, on the back of these incidents, especially the one in East Legon?
Yes, we have always maintained that safety in general, whether be it road safety, whether be in home safety or wherever we find ourselves, is a shared responsibility. As individuals, we have roles to play. So on the road, we would want to still maintain and caution drivers to be extra careful. Defensive driving is the best option. And then also, we should be able to adhere to the road safety regulations. Where we are not supposed to overspeed, we should be able to maintain the speed limit. And then it behoves on us as vehicle owners and then drivers to ensure that the vehicles that we handle are well maintained to be able to give us the functionalities that they have been made to do. Other than that, we may fail brake. A fire outbreak could result as a result of poor maintenance or, a more functioning part or so. So, in as much as we want to maintain safety on our road, a lot behoves on us, the drivers, not even drink and drive. If we are on medication that makes us feel dizzy and all that, we should be able to avoid sitting behind the wheels to drive. If our vehicles are giving us some signs that they are not fit for purpose, quickly we should be able to send them to a competent, certified, experienced auto mechanic or auto electrician to be able to do the maintenance work for us, and then buy genuine parts to be able to fix the faulty parts for us, so as to minimize these carnages on our road. I think it has become one too many, and I believe that as a service, when these things happen, we can only admonish the general public to call on us as soon as possible on our emergency lines, which still remains 112 or 192 for prompt response. I understand that the East Legon one eyewitness was giving account that it happened around 2:50, but they called us at 4:30. So what were they doing in between when it happened and when they called us? So please, we would also continue to caution our the section of the public who continually play pranks with our line, because emergencies do not wait for anybody. And when it happens, if you play pranks with our lines, it means that anybody who needs our services will be denied. The person will not be able to get through. That is why we want to call on the public to call us when our services are needed only, and then call us on time to be able to respond promptly, to be able to save lives and then property.
Now, my very final question would have to do with, some concerns that equally have come up in relation to, for instance, the live streaming of the, I don't know if I can call it the rescue operation or otherwise, for instance, of the East Legon one, where the video is shown of the child bodies being transported, being put on a plain white, I think, paper or white or rubber, I don't know what exactly it was. Some say that showing it in that form, yes, you want to inform people, but it will be traumatizing, especially for the families who this video will be there forever. And also, it does not also, help in terms of the dignity of the dead. What do you say in response to that?
Well, I believe many Ghanaians have not given us enough credit where credit is due. Look at the risks our men continually face in the face of saving lives and responding to incidents that they did not cause in the first place. But we have always been faced with abuses and then assaults every now and then. So bringing some of these footages into the public domain though it has its negative effect. But the positive aspect is it throws more light on the fact that we have never relented on executing our mandate by way of responding promptly and then saving lives, even at the peril of our own lives. So we would want to regroup and then ensure that the footages that will not be so palatable for the public good will not be aired, maybe going forward. But we want you, the media in particular, to be able to give us the needed credit and then ensure that whatever good that we have stood for the past 61 years should be enhanced and should be publicized for the good people of this country that we serve, for them to know, so that the accusations, the abuses, and the assaults will end. Because we exist for them. Therefore, if they do not cooperate with us, it will become very difficult for us to be able to also serve them well. So in as much as we look at the bad aspect, we think that we must also give due recognition and respect to our heroes who go out of their way to save savable lives and then prevent further destruction to property.
All right, then. I said this was my final question, but I think I have another one. What should be some of the things people can do beyond they reaching out to the fire service when, they encounter incidents like these? Because sometimes, how the individuals may even be handled could determine whether they will survive or otherwise. So what are the few tips you can give to people when they encounter such incidents beyond calling the Ghana National Fire Service?
Yes, thank you very much. I believe that knowledge is power. So we as an institution will continue to engage the people that we serve and then give them contemporary knowledge as to how to handle emergency situations. So we would want to advise road users, especially vehicle owners, and then drivers to have first aid kit in their vehicles, so that in case of such incidents, they could be able to use it to manage blood flow and then also ensure that the casualty is reassured. I mean, there has to be constant engagement, especially when people are trapped in vehicles and they are in pain. There has to be constant engagement. We should not try to do anything to pull them out of the vehicle. That is why we are always available. The Ghana National Fire Service, the ambulance service, we've always availed ourselves so that quickly the call is placed. Once you assure the casualty that help is on its way, you call us rightly on our emergency numbers so that we can respond properly. Because we have the specialized equipment to be able to cut and then create space by means of extricating whoever is trapped, so that as quickly as possible the person could be relieved or will be brought out of to safety and then offered first aid as quickly as possible and transported to the nearby hospital. So please, when you chance on any accident, the first point of call is to call the Ghana National Fire Service. Call the Ghana National Fire Service on 112 192, and then keep assuring the trapped individual or the injured individual, if you can manage the blood flow with maybe a gauze or a bandage or whatever, just do the compression in such a way that the person will not lose a lot of blood, and then keep on assuring the person that help is on its way. And I believe that once we get there, the rest will be handled by the professionals.
Okay. And you mentioned that you are now going to go to the hospital in relation to the East Legon one. So at the moment, there's been no interaction with the families of the victims. Is that the case?
Exactly. Right. So we do not even know the sex of those who were burnt, their names, their age, and all that. So unless we get to the hospital and then get to speak with the family, I believe that we'll be able to inform your audience.
And that of the car that caused the incident? That as well? Okay. Sure. All right. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for your time, sir.
I'm also grateful.
You heard us speak to D.O. Desmond Aka. He is the public relations officer of the Ghana National Fire Service. We sought some answers in relation to the East Legon accident that claimed the lives of 2 individuals, and the others are currently receiving treatment. in terms of the degree of their injuries, the fire service will be at the hospital today to be able to ascertain that and then provide further updates in relation to it.